What I really want is for Candace to move on from Turning Point and Erica. I have no problem with her asking questions, but not about them. He thinks he's in a position to decide who must say what to whom and when. Thank you. So I don't think we are friends anymore. I've been a very good friend to Ben. Nobody knew who the heck Ben Shapiro was when I started putting him on my shows on the Fox News channel, and I helped make him a star.
I was so heartened to see how well this seemed to be received by the Turning Point audience. I am a bit of a skeptic that this is a debate in the Republican Party or the conservative movement. To me, the debate seems to me between like content creators on the one hand and real conservatives, and
Yes, I don't know if you notice this. Turning Point USA, these few days is a place where a lot of people are using it to set a score. This person is bringing up grievances, the other person will counteract. That is what I've seen all through. I don't know why this is happening. Charlie passing is something that has caused a havoc in the conservative movement. The division is massive. It's either you are with this person or you are against that person. That is what I'm witnessing right now. Megyn Accidentally, on the other hand, he said, I'm not a friend to Ben Shapiro again. This is as a result of the fact that she refused to call out Candace Owens. So you will see exactly what is going on here. Megyn says Candace Owens has the right to question whatever thing that was happening. Why others say that is wrong? You are supposed to call out Tucker Carlson and Candace. Megyn said no. She has taken her own path while others are going the other way. I don't know when this division will stop.
in the Republican Party or the conservative movement. To me, the debate seems to me between like content creators on the one hand and real conservatives, and Ben, of course, representing the conservative position. You told me this. You were one of the first people to say to me, when you go out and you meet with audiences, there's nobody there pushing that kind of and even the Tucker Carlson position, but that people in America are still very much on the side of Americans. What say you about all of this brouhaha?
Well, I was proud of Ben, and I'm a big fan of Ben, but he gave an absolutely necessary speech. You know, as a Republican, I always tell people we're a political party. We're not a sponge. You know, we don't have to absorb everything that oozes in under the door. I mean, if you had a political party meeting, a Republican meeting, and somebody came in and said, hey, I have an idea, let's raise all the taxes to 100%, you'd beat them up and throw them out. So if somebody oozes in and says, hey, I have an idea, let's deny the Holocaust, let's, turn our back real, let's attack the Jews in our world, why wouldn't we treat them the same way? This is our ally. This is a democratic ally of the United States. We have a shared Judeo-Christian heritage. This is the underpinning, the pillars of Western civilization that we're upholding together. And you want the conservative movement to attack all that and turn against that? So my view is the Republican Party and the conservative movement very much can tell the difference between right and wrong. I think the left in this country is having a real trouble with that, but we cannot fall victim to the same thing. I do think some people are dabbling in this to make money, to get attention. And I think in the case of Candace, what she has done to a grieving widow and force that poor Erica Kirk to pay attention to her, to meet with her, to say the things about this. Also, she can make a few extra bucks on some kind of a podcast is nothing short of disgusting and vile. And I'm sorry Erica Kirk has had to go through that. The Turning Point folks are trying to keep an organization going in the wake of a horrific, and here you have somebody coming along and making it about themselves, and in the process smearing.
Deplatform and denounce. Why haven't you denounced somebody else? The whole Red Guard cultural revolution thing that we so hated and feared on the left that we did everything we could to usher in a new time where you could have an actual debate. I mean, this kind of was the whole point of Trump's public life. And I think that he died for it. I really believe that. And I know a lot about it because the last several months of Charlie's life were devoted in part to arguing about this event, in fact, this speech, in fact, my speech here, which he asked me to do earlier this year, this summer, and was immediately put under just immense pressure from people who give money to Turning Point, I would assume good people, but who wanted him to take me off the roster. And this has all become public, and the whole thing is so sad that I never talk about it, except to say Charlie's firm in his often stated and deeply held belief that people should be able to debate, and that if you have something valid to say, if you're telling the truth, you ought to be able to explain it calmly and in detail to people who don't agree with you, and that you shouldn't immediately resort to shut up racist.
When you look at these videos that I've just put out here, you can see people with different opinions on what is going on. Candace Owens, on the other hand, is in her own lane, believing whatever thing she's doing is all right. Megyn Kelly, on the other hand, thinks differently. Now Tucker Carlson with this score is the talking against Candace and Tucker Carlson. You know, I believe if you look deep into what Charlie was doing, it was to have conversations like this in different directions. People should be able to go into real controversial things and talked about. And all his debates were public. Yeah, not about internet and clicks like Dave Chappelle struggled to stipulate at the beginning of this video. That was not what Charlie was doing. He was having debate, talking on things he doesn't even agree with. That was very important. Then, from the look of things, it's like if you are now doing this, it's a problem. When I watched what Ben Shapiro said, it triggered Tucker Carlson to actually talk about this issue of deplatforming people, because Ben Shapiro struggled to actually advocate for it. That should tell you a lot. But I'm very sad at a certain point seeing people I used to look up to doing this. What I see on social media on a daily basis is totally different right now. There are some saying if any candidate that is standing up as a presidential candidate, the Republican Party, if you are supporting this person or bringing this person on stage, I'm not supporting you. I don't know. This is not a winning strategy the Republican influencers are putting out. In politics, you need everyone. You need every single vote. Now you have to do selective outreach. Pick up people you disagree with, then allow those you disagree with one-sided. That should not be the case. That's why we have just a single person that will be chosen. Then everyone can fall behind. But from the look of things, things will not be the same. I watched Laura Loomer the other day. She's made it clear. If J.D. Vance is to bring up Tucker on stage during his campaign, she will not be supporting J.D. She will look for a different candidate that aligns with what she believes in, no matter what. That is a division I'm talking about. It is high time the conservative movement needs to sit and readdress this issue. The other day I saw Candace Owens with Erica sitting having conversations about all this. I was impressed. I don't want to talk much. I think I'm going to end here. Please share the video and subscribe. As of the short clips at the end, that is for the YT algorithm.
Put his condolences out.
Democrats think that MAGA's going to break up because of Donald Trump's criticism of Robin.
Can sit at either place. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
You and your husband were friends with Rob and Michelle Reiner, and
Everybody knew that wasn't true.
A dangerous relative as a likely suspect, a tip that led to her brother Nick. Rob Reiner and Nick had a heated argument the night before at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, being back on his own. In one interview, she said,
We should have said nothing. The United States to take this family tragedy in which the president had made no comment.
When people ought to have.
Absolute horror.
I'm going to make sure that.
Hey, what's up, America? Donald Trump announces